Many of you are already aware of the effects of climate change on our planet, as it becomes more and more clear that climate change already affects the daily lives of millions of people around the world.
Climate change is not just an environmental challenge, it is a fundamental threat to economic development and the fight against poverty.
Science also tells us that if no action is taken to dramatically decrease the use of fossil fuels and greenhouse gas emissions, we are headed to a world that is increasingly likely to be 4 degrees Celsius warmer by the end of this century, compared to temperatures that existed in the pre-industrial era more than 100 years ago.
There would be massive disruption in some of our most basic systems, water supply, the viability of coastal cities, entire populations that live in low-lying areas. But moreover, it has implications for disaster risk management, it has implications for food supply, and most importantly for us, the worst impacts are going to happen in the poorest countries, to the poorest people.
Relatively speaking, some may think a 4 degrees Celsius change is inconsequential. This could not be further from the truth.
People don't really appreciate what 4 degrees Celsius warmer usually is. So, for example, if our body temperatures would be 2 degrees Celsius warmer, we'd be running a high fever. And if it was 4 degrees Celsius warmer, we'd be in a coma.
The latest report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change reaffirms the peer-reviewed and published scientific findings of the great majority of climate scientists that human activities are causing unprecedented changes in the Earth's climate.
They now say it is extremely likely, to which they assign a probability of 95%, that most of the warming since 1950 has been due to human influence. That is the kind of declarative sentence you rarely hear from scientists, and therefore expresses remarkable consensus.
But have you ever thought of exactly how the warming of our planet is caused by our changing patterns of consumption? And what is your role? Now is your chance to learn more. In this massive open online course, or MOOC, which is free and open to anyone, we shall guide you through the key scientific underpinnings for the physical basis of climate change, with a special focus on the 2012 World Bank report, Turn Down the Heat, Why a 4 degrees Celsius Warmer World Must Be Avoided.
What this report will help you visualize is how dramatic some of the extremes of weather we are likely to face.
As you will learn, a 4 degrees Celsius warmer world would be one of violent weather patterns, major floods, rainforest fires of unprecedented size, and severe heat waves causing major droughts in many regions of the world, all with serious impacts on development prospects. By participating in this MOOC, you will be able to gain a thorough understanding of the science behind climate change, the observed changes in the climate system to date, their causes and immediate consequences that are already being felt, and projected long-term impacts based on the best available science. Depending on your knowledge of the subject, you can choose between 2 different tracks. Track 1 is for the general public, and Track 2 is for policymakers. Along the way, you will be able to take quizzes, play games, and explore other interactive tools that will help your learning. We also believe this MOOC will encourage you to find innovative ways of avoiding the worst-case climate scenarios, which will have severe impact on the health and welfare of communities around the world. But with timely and participatory action by all, a 4 degrees Celsius warmer world can and must be avoided.
Unless the world takes bold action now, a disastrously warming planet threatens to put prosperity out of the reach of millions.
By reducing your footprint of emissions, by reducing how you consume resources, every little bit that we all do will have an impact.
Because the conditions are going to get tougher with the droughts and the flooding, but we know we can do it. We've got to start right now.
We strongly encourage you and your fellow learners to take this MOOC and to join us in the fight to make a low-emissions future a reality, and also to step up action on preparedness or resilience to climate change. Our success and failures in this fight will define our generation and the state of the earth for generations to come.